Based on the first-hand non-fiction book of the same name by Marcus Luttrell, this American war film was released nationwide on January 10, 2014, where it eventually tripled its $50 million budget. Mark Wahlberg stars as Luttrell, an elite Navy SEAL who gets pinned down in the Rocky Mountains of Afghanistan after an anti-Taliban op goes south. Ben Foster, Taylor Kitsch, and Emil Hirsch portray his intrepid squad mates. And while we learn almost nothing of their backstories, their camaraderie and lived-in relationships feel very believable. Facing impossible odds against an incoming horde of nearly 100 enemy combatants, the foursome dig behind cover and attempt to survive until backup can arrive. Their performances truly sell the horrifying circumstances of their situation, with every glance between them carrying the weight of their life-or-death struggle. Despite being severely outnumbered, they maintain their composure and determination, with Foster remarking to himself regarding a Taliban fighter in his sights, "You can die for your country. I'm gonna live for mine." As the title would suggest, however, their fates are unfortunately a foregone conclusion, but the narrative is no weaker because of this inherent spoiler. The brilliant and Oscar-nominated sound design is particularly noteworthy, especially during a harrowing sequence when our heroes tumble down a jagged cliffside, with bones cracking and bullets whizzing all around them. The R-rated adventure is often graphic, with blood flying in all directions, but never gratuitously so. The colorful language, gruesome violence, and loud explosions only lend to the film's meticulous realism. The opening act is deliberately slow, methodically building palpable tension before the first shot is even fired. But once the fighting begins, the seamlessly paced 121-minute story morphs into a whole new beast that rather effectively transports the viewer inside an active war zone.
Move!
For those who don't watch until the end of the credits, you'd be forgiving for assuming this picture was filmed on location in the rural hillsides of Afghanistan, and not in New Mexico. A minimalist score from the rock band Explosions in the Sky and composer Steve Jablonsky is a droning and appropriate backdrop that suitably elevates the mood without ever distracting. Director Peter Berg balances the action in the field with rescue efforts back at the base, all filmed via a handheld anamorphic frame. With the events of this story and the war itself still so fresh in the family's minds, special care was taken to make sure they approved of the final portrayal, and the treatment here is a respectful one that honors their memories rather than exploiting them. Their Afghan adversaries, however, are given nary a line of dialogue or development, just faceless individuals for Wahlberg's team to pick off one at a time with abrupt headshots. Although the narrative isn't particularly deep and few morals or lessons are ever learned, this is a strong and thrilling war film for a new generation of soldiers, and one I wouldn't mind watching again. Lone Survivor. Shallow story surrounds disturbing experience. Here's what you had to say in the YouTube comments. Our final ratings for Lone Survivor. 2 8s. Widely mixed but still positive scores for this picture, with everyone applauding the realism and battle scenes. You thought it was great. Highlighting the last moments of brave men who fought and died for a cause they believed in, this is a gripping and compelling picture I'll be rating a great as well.